Welcome back to Getting Worked, everybody. It's your boy Jarrett. I'm hanging out here with my boy Ian. There's a ton to talk about right now.
Do we have something to talk about? I mean,
it was kind of a dry weekend.
Is there anything happening in wrestling these days?
It's kind of a dry weekend. It's you know, not a lot happened this week. Okay, all right. Straight facts. Okay, so first of all, and we won't have time to get to that tonight, but WWE had both an NXT and a regular roster main event pay-per-view going on this weekend. But
premium live event.
The fact that we gotta call that right now, but I think with trips in place,
at least they're fans and wrestlers again. That's
okay. I think with trips in place and some of the moves that he's been making and some of the stuff that's going on, I think a lot of that nonsense.
Their title belts.
Yeah.
It is their
belts
fans.
Again.
We're fans, you know.
Fans again.
Not universe. Not the yeah.
Braun Strowman's back wrecking shit.
Yeah.
Like
right.
Yeah, there's stuff happening right now that's going on. But
that's over in that other group.
Yeah, cause there's some
been pretty quiet in AEW though, right?
It's smooth sailing, brah. Smooth sailing, man.
Except for that guy that's, I guess, not sure which way I'm supposed to point.
You know what?
In between us.
You know what?
It's this way.
I might need to reevaluate my top 5.
My goodness.
I'm feeling a certain way.
By the way, just total do the see. I'm the Shawn Michaels. I'm the Shawn Michaels to your Triple H here, right? So I got to do the complete company plug here. For those of you who do not know what we're about to talk about, what Jarrett is referring to is a former stream that we had where we did a top 10.
Yes, we did a top 10 of favorite wrestlers, favorite wrestlers. And I feel I was very fair because I kept Triple H off that list. Now, I'm not talking about Triple H.
Nope.
I'm talking about one CM Punk that might have to make his way into my top 5 because now understand CM Punk was always in my top 10.
Was he 6 though? Did he skip some people?
Oh, he skipped some people. He straight up skipped some people. Although it wouldn't take very much for my boy. I've been following this dude since Ring of Honor. Before he made his way to WWE, and
I would say this is just a little prelude. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, drop it. A little
prelude because you said something about ROH.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna talk about ROH is gonna come up. Anyway,
it will.
ROH is coming up.
But so a lot of people have been following the media scrum here. And the only thing I will say about it negatively is that
let's talk a little bit just in case anybody hasn't seen it.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's
set the stage.
Like super high level.
Let's set the stage.
In short, AEW had when was All Out? Was that
on Sunday?
Friday?
Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday.
So
and what like there was a lot of stuff that happened. I'm not even gonna drop who won what match.
Yeah,
I'm not going to drop
nothing to do with
what championships changed. And that's the thing. This is the thing. The real drama has nothing to do with what titles changed.
No.
Who won what? Who swerved on who? None of that. MJF kind of tickled his way into things within the pay-per-view.
Sure.
That's all. Then that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, I was going to say definitely because if we go down that road, we're going to go completely down.
Right.
The short version of what all happened after, and jump in and tell me any pieces I missed.
Yeah,
I'm going to give the super condensed 2-minute version.
Please.
Basically, pay-per-view's over. There's normal media. Say it again.
No, I say preach it, man, because I'm just gonna go down 500 avenues.
No. So there was the post game press conference. No, it was the post match press conference. Pay-per-view's over, and it's a pay-per-view in AEW. Punk comes out. There's been some questions about Colt Cabana, his former friend that he is very much so now enemy.
Understand. Let me
friend to enemy.
Let me interject here just to set the stage just a little bit more. Is that we're in Chicago?
Yeah.
Both CM Punk and Colt Cabana are both from Chicago.
A lot of energy.
They developed. They kind of grew up together in Ring of Honor, and that's a bit of what Punk was talking about. So I'm sorry. Okay. So
So there was and I'm gonna cut even we'll get to the details of what all got said exactly.
Yeah.
Basically, there was a question that triggered Punk. Punk got angry about it. He went on to talk about why he still has to answer these questions about Colt Cabana. If you don't know what that is, we'll talk about it a little bit, but it's old news. It's nothing new. 2013, 14, 15, something like that.
Right.
So old news. Google it. It'll be faster than anything we'd say here. But and he got angry about it. He goes on this complete tirade for the next probably 20 minutes. Not directly 20 minutes. There were questions and things like that, but basically the entire time he's kind of circling back to this the whole time. A lot of animosity. He took shots at, of course, Cabana. He also took shots at the EVPs, which is the Kenny Omegas, basically the top brass of AEW, the who's who of AEW. The whole time he has Tony Khan sitting next to him. Tony was in and out on the conversation. Again, we'll get into all of that here in a little bit. That sort of so keep that kind of stage in mind. He called Adam Page, the cowboy, he called him an airhead, some version of that.
Something like that.
Basically an idiot. He, in short, called him that. There was that was his blow up. Later on, there was supposed to be a altercation, let's call it.
Yeah.
A more physical discussion, more physically animated discussion between, depending on the story, between CM Punk, between the Young Bucks. Kenny Omega was supposedly there as well. I don't remember if Page was there or not. But
he wasn't.
I think it was just, I know the Young Bucks. Also, CM Punk's trainer. I want to say, I can't remember what his name is.
Former trainer,
but he's been on AEW TV here lately.
Yeah.
A bunch as well. So he's been, anyhow, the 5 of them interacted in the locker room, depending on who said what first and whose story you're going with. There was an altercation. Somebody threw a chair. His trainer is supposed to have thrown a chair. One of the Young Bucks, I always switch their names. He was supposed to throw a chair. One of the Young Bucks knocked him out. There was a fight. There was punches thrown, etc.
So yeah. So I can divulge what I understand about. Okay, so let's back up.
let's hang on for that part. Let's kind of jump back and go into the detail. But that's the short of it. That's so if you're trying to figure out like what the heck we're talking about,
that's the synopsis.
The short of it.
Yep.
So
let me speak to what instigated a lot of it. There's a lot of audio going around, and unfortunately, most of the audio doesn't capture the initial question that went to Tony Khan. Effectively, my understanding is that the question was around the effective rumor that CM Punk's involvement in AEW basically pushed Colt Cabana out of AEW. Now, as best I understand right now, Colt Cabana is under contract under Ring of Honor, which is a subsidiary of AEW.
Yeah, which Tony Khan now owns.
Tony Khan now still owns.
Not kayfabe, none of the kayfabe stuff.
No, he owns both. He's and so now he's effectively under contract with Ring of Honor, and it's basically kind of right now, really, let's call it what it is. Colt Cabana, we don't know what to do with you. We're moving you down to the minor leagues. Now, also, let me make this clear. They were not doing anything with Colt Cabana in AEW outside of some random kind of job matches.
Yeah, right.
Here and there. So it wasn't like AEW was really significantly doing anything with him. Okay. So before CM Punk sat down, somebody from the Chicago press, who again, it's kind of that, it's like you kind of have to expect it, because you got the Chicago press. Cabana's from Chicago, CM Punk's from Chicago.
Two hometown boys.
The guy who
likes to fight, right?
And again, if you look at who CM Punk went after first, 9 times out of 10, that was the guy who asked the question to Tony Khan, who Tony Khan said no comment. This gets addressed later. Okay? CM Punk comes in, and you're thinking about what should be a normal presser. CM Punk should be talking about his match with Moxley.
He just won the championship. Yeah,
he's got blood. Look at the picture. He's got blood all over his face. He just went with his second round with Moxley, and if you're gonna go with a championship match with Moxley, blood's gonna be shed.
One of your bigger ones.
Yeah, blood's gonna be shed. It's gonna be a fight, and it was. That match was stellar. Was fucking stellar, and it should have been. And the problem that I have with all this crap, which is I think the same problem that CM Punk has, is that all this, like, he's sitting there with the whole presser, and they're not talking about the fucking match. They're not talking about a certain individual rolling up as a Joker and the fucking rumble roll to start the whole fucking thing, which should have, been really the discussions being had before even CM Punk sits down.
It would have made perfect sense to be talking about MJF.
Yes.
Considering a lot of
Moxley.
what he was.
or at least Moxley, at the very least.
Yeah,
because
well, even if you're talking about MJF and his holdout, like that's a hot, not even a hot topic. That's the here and now.
If two people that should be the most pissed off about this whole fucking thing should be Moxley and MJF. Yeah. Period. Like you would talk about stealing thunder because Moxley wrestled a stellar fucking, like I said, Moxley wrestled a fucking stellar match. They fought to the bone, right? And then that in and of itself should be addressed and recognized. And then the pop on MGF should be recognized. And because some punk ass nitwit asked the question, I'm sorry, but you asked a question about who?
Yeah, not even a mid, not a mid Carter,
fucking
not a low
Cabana
Carter.
I'm sorry, I actually like Colt. I like Colt where he is, like in his placement within. I think he could be like a good like mid card job guy, but seriously, like I'm sorry.
And AEW's version of Dolph Ziggler.
Oh my God! No, he's AEW's version of the Brooklyn Brawler. Oh, let's call a spade a fucking spade. Let's get this straight. He was nobody in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's not. He's not anything. I mean, I'm talking from the fan side. Jarrett and I always talk about things kind of from two different sides. I always talk from the fan side.
From a booker versus a fan side. I don't care. From like a guy, a guy who happened to see the card off the sign, off the thing, who wasn't thinking about even going to the thing. He's not seeing fucking Scott Colton.
I'll put it like this: every time I say his name legitimately, I have to think very hard about, like, am I saying Colt Cabana? Is that the
Colt Cabana is his in-ring name. Scott Colton, as CM Punk made it very clear, he was talking about his legal name because CM Punk was talking about what he could talk about from a legal standpoint.
Oh, sure.
Which, if CM Punk is well, and that's the thing is like, and this is the other thing is that CM Punk is in a situation where he can't lie.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why he pointed to through Discovery, we found out this. And we're talking about this. Oh, he said this. Oh, this is an email that I have.
These are court, like his same discussion could have been court.
He can't play. But here's the thing. Here's where it really got sticky. And it led up to this. And the questions kind of came about what was a shoot and what was a work.
So let me
do your thing.
Let me go on a little not rant, but let me just say a few things that are gonna probably trigger you anyhow. So they in short, if this is not a work, and I'm not so sure. This is one time I'm not so sure that we're not on opposite sides, but the opposite side than we normally are on. Normally, I'm the one like, this is really happening, and this is this and this. this time it feels like, you know, I'm not. You'll get into it, so I'm not putting words in your mouth. You'll say, you know, you said your piece. But you're like really like this is real. This is real. I mean, the best lies are real.
Oh yes, they are.
Those are the best lies.
Oh yes, they are.
You know, I'm just saying.
Yes, they are.
This might be the cynical. Cynical is not maybe the right term. The fan.
I wonder.
I love a good story. Don't get me wrong. I love a good. You got me. Hey, cool. I'm all for it. So I'm not mad by any stretch of the imagination. But I feel. Now I'm along for the ride. Like this is a great thing. But I feel like there's some, like this is all tied together. And so here's I will say this. Let's jump into the like real world for a second, and then we'll jump back into the wrestling.
Yep.
I will say, if all the stuff that has supposedly gone down, and this is not a work, like this is saying, if this is not a work, if this is really, truly 100% exactly as it's being presented, then there's a lot of people that are wrong. And honestly, CM Punk, yes, he's wrong, but he's way down. He's further down the list of people that were wrong in this case. I'm gonna start with the.
You with CM Punk, let's put it this way: good, bad, or indifferent. You know how dark the shit stains are on CM Punk's underwear. Like I'm like.
Yeah,
and I'll let you roll. I'll let you roll. But like that's one thing that has always been 100% consistent with CM Punk, work, shoot, or otherwise. You know how dark those shit stains are. And I'll let you go, man.
Yeah, honestly though, if it's not a work, and again, I think it is, but that's a different topic. We'll get to that. Put it off to the side for now. If it's not a work, and there were punches thrown in the locker room, and all of this, first off, I'm gonna start with the Young Bucks. If this is not a work and this is all real, you are 1,000% in the wrong.
Right.
1,000%.
Yep.
1,000% in the wrong. Is it justified? Should Punk, you know, if this is real and there's some employee of yours that has popped off in a public setting about you, the boss, and everything in your work, your company as a whole. If that is true, does he deserve to get something? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
does
he?
Yeah. Just because you're saying that the Young Bucks are wrong, don't necessarily mean that CM Punk is right.
Correct.
On all this. I get you. I follow you.
So
I follow you.
Does he deserve? Sure. That's another thing. You are 1,000% wrong. 1,000%.
Yep.
You went in. You're not just. This is. I'll be honest with you. This is. If again, and I keep having to say it because I want to make sure if anybody's jumping in at a weird spot. If this is not a work, and I think it is, but if it's not, now let's go as if it's not. We're going to talk totally as if it's not. This is why active wrestlers should not be too involved in
EVPs.
creative. They shouldn't be in the business side of it because they are active wrestlers. They have too much skin and money and everything else in the game. You can't. It's hard. You will find your occasional person, and I mean occasional person that can do both. It is extraordinarily rare and quite frankly almost not fair to the person themselves.
No,
this is why, because
100%. 100%.
You are the active wrestler, your heart, your soul, everything that you're putting into this character, into its development, into its rise is all there. You got to take all that, throw it off to the side and go, and now as the EVP, as the executive of this company,
watching the business,
have to look at the bigger picture. What is best for, you know, the Vince McMahon line? What's best for business?
What's best for business?
What's best for business?
And I agree.
What's best for business is you not going in and punching your employees.
Damn right.
Or getting in a fight with your employee.
Damn right.
That's what's best for business. You want to make this a big thing? Sure. But you could not possibly do such a stupid thing. And that is what it is. If this is real, and you went in and got into a physical altercation, have there been people that I've worked with that I've wanted to punch? Sure.
Fuck yeah.
Maybe
Absolutely.
run them over with a car if I could.
Absolutely.
You know, just stuff.
Absolutely.
But do you do it? No. Because
here's the thing. Here's my take. Here's my take. I so want this to be a work. I so want this to be a work.
I'm gonna go through why I think it is. I'm gonna swing through.
I don't know, but
Does that make it good?
I so want this to be
Jarrett
a work. Because if it is, having Tony Khan sitting there as a pathetic piece of shit with CM Punk makes so much more sense.
See?
If it's a fucking work.
Watch that interview, man.
If it's a fucking... If it's... And here's the thing, and this is what I love about CM Punk. This is what I love about CM Punk. And this is the thing, like, having MJF also coming into the mix... And then guys,
they planted those seeds a long time ago with Tony, right?
Yes.
They played
guys
to start MJF when he officially showed that it was him. They played a recording right before that. It was supposed to be a voice message from Tony Khan. It was supposed to be from Tony. Well, it wasn't supposed to be. It was Tony Khan that's supposed to be calling MJF saying, it's all about the fans, and I just want you to come back, and here's X amount of dollars, man. Just show up.
And
again, groveling, playing that groveling.
Let's
just come on, man. Please, golly gosh darn it.
Let's also understand before that voicemail was a video clip of CM Punk effectively in a similar situation.
I'm a snake.
Yep.
That's when he
the only the best.
Where was he at the time?
Well, okay. So let me say this. CM Punk said, and CM Punk. Well, okay. So also let's wrap this to what MJF did with that whole battle royal beforehand. CM Punk with a long hair. Young boy CM Punk back in Ring of Honor on video saying the best trick the devil ever did was to convince everyone that he didn't exist,
which is true. But
and then you have MJF already coming in before,
but you didn't know it. He had the mask,
and then coming through,
mask on and everything.
And then you have the clip of MJF walking through. You see the face with the mask, and then you see his face to the camera, fucking face to the camera, and then he shows off the scarf.
Yeah,
come on.
He has his back, so he has his back to the camera.
Yeah, his back to the camera. His face,
and all you see is he's in a black
the back
shirt,
of
so
his
it's just the back of his head
to the camera. Got the
he flips
horns.
the scarf, so you see the scarf. You know MJF's.
And then he because he discloses the scarf, and it's him. And that's the thing. That's, I would say, out of all of this, that's one of the things that I would say that I would have, if I have any kind of complaints about all of this, work, shoot, or otherwise, is that it stole the thunder.
I'm not so sure it did.
Well, it may not. It may not.
Hear me out.
Play it out,
so
brother.
The reason I say I'm not sure it did is because MJF until this time has been the unquestioned villain. He is always the bad guy. There's never a time where you're not sure. Even if you're cheering for him, aside from when he's in Long Island.
And give him credit, he has, like, you want to talk about old school dedication to a role?
Which I love.
I love it too. I love it too.
I'm so tired of seeing
guy.
It keeps me
MJF is the heel to anybody that talks to him.
Yeah, I'm not making fun of the,
I love it.
I'm gonna say like Seth Rollins and those, even
anybody in WWE, Roman Reigns, everybody's got to be a face. Everybody's got to be
off the camera. Well, we're going out on vacation together. Well, y'all supposed to be fighting in the ring. Like, well, we're buddies. Okay, I get that. Like, it's a job. I understand that. But yes, I would like it to be that I at least can fool myself a little bit more into believing it's not just a TV show. You know what I mean? Like there's a little bit of that. Of course, they're humans. They should be able to go have fun. It's nothing like that.
Here's the thing. If you listen to any of the old school wrestlers, right, and they talk about the dedication to kayfabe.
Absolutely.
Right.
Kayfabe.
Like nowadays, kayfabe's kind of a toss around term.
It may not be fully
back
dead,
in the
but
day,
it's been on strong life support for quite so many years.
Back in the day, it really meant something. Like, are you effectively dedicated to kayfabe?
Yeah.
And you had wrestlers who, like, the heels had different hotels, different cabbing companies, different entrances into the thing.
AEW does a little bit of that with the double entrance. Like, you clearly know who's supposed to be good and supposed to be bad. But and it's a different world. Like, I get it is a very different world.
Yeah. But man, like, it was a different thing because the heels had to have security to keep the crowd from wanting to, like, kill them.
Make sure that they can get out of there some days.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And this is where,
like, legitimately, not talked about. We gotta get out of here.
This is legitimately. You had to have security, and this, I think, this is where
it wasn't that security that they send down to the ring to stop a wrestler who is on the mic in the middle of the ring. Not that.
Oh,
security.
no. I'm talking about like off-duty cops, because and this is where I think I think this is where some like Jim Cornette's a gem, talking about kind of that history, talking about kind of the, like, how serious people took wrestling, and how like if you beat the crap out of Steamboat or the Rock and Roll Express or whomever the babyface was, because if you were a heel back then, you had to win it through some kind of cheat.
Misgivings. Yes. Yes. There was some cheating
and the crowd,
bending of the rules per se.
The crowd would freaking go insane, and they wanted you dead. They wanted you, and
not kayfabe dead.
They wanted you legitimately dead. Like, and Jim Cornette made a career out of making people through kayfabe make people legitimately want to kill him. and his team and
it
everything
does have
else.
to be some kind of an adrenaline rush to rush out of a stadium knowing that there are 50,000 people who are legitimately coming for your head, not figuratively.
And this is where I think like you and I really agree on the whole like wrestling thing. You and I would have to be a heel tag team, like 100%, like 100%. We would have to be a heel tag team because it's so much fun. It is so much more fun.
No,
it
absolutely.
But now, the other thing is that, and a lot of people don't realize this. It was the heel in the match, even like a single or tag team, whatever. It was usually the heel that would be the director of the match in the ring. You would need to know what the fuck you're doing. You would have to be like, there was actually a pretty, like, you had a lot of freedom in how you can act, but you were the one, like the baby face was reacting and the heel was directing. And now, it gave it. Now I'm not sweating from that. I'm perfectly fine with that, But you have to understand that's the role that you had, and then it was the referee that kind of helped to like remind people, like, okay, yep, we're at this spot. Boom, boom, boom. We got it. We got to get the finish in 2 minutes. 2-minute warning, we want to play like football, what a 2-minute warning is, that's how many like
we gotta wrap this up. Somebody send it in the back
like this
saying,
is why
hey.
so many football players, not just because of the size, but because like you know exactly how long 2 minutes is.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
If you're in like high end college or professional football, you know exactly how long 2 minutes is.
That
and 2 minutes,
you don't need to look up to find it out.
You like the timer's already going in your head, and then like kind of on the back end on wrestling, a big thing for the referee is to give word out to the heel when you get to the 2 minute mark.
Yeah.
Then it's his job, either regardless if he's winning or the face is going over, whatever it is, you're at that 2 minute mark. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get it done. And it's usually the heel that dictates how that goes.
Right.
But but overall, I would love to be a heel. I would be a heel guy all day because I don't know. Me personally, I could see I would always be such a good guy. I don't understand. Like
at least by
you'd be that you would be the pretty boy.
Yeah,
that don't mean
I'm definitely gonna be the prick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, we would be a good tag team. We would be a good heel tag team.
We're nothing but good guys here.
Because I could just be I would be the one to like legitimately beat them up, so that you can come in and like
I would then
spark
take the mic
and shine and all that stuff. Stuff get a little bit rough, and then you would tag me in, and then I'd come in, rough things up a little bit more. And
I would be the one that runs his mouth to all the people, has a line of them running after him.
Just
and
get the hype.
around the corner just
get
for
the
you to
hype
take them
going.
out.
Get the hype going. Well, I'm the one literally like kind of working them down, just kind of It's kind of like Arn and Tully back in the day a little bit, or like even like I know you hate these guys, but it'd be like lot more like Arn and Tully or like Heart Foundation kind of shit, where like, but you'd have a little bit more flash to it. But like even Heart Foundation,
if you were gonna compare me to would I be Brett in this case? Because God, please, man, this is just insulting.
No, you be Brett. But like more of like the finish. It would be like heel Heart Foundation. It would be more about the anvil kind of breaking people down.
Yeah.
So then Brett can come in and put the fancy move,
shine.
the fancy move, and get the shine on somebody. And then when they were playing face, it would be a little bit more balanced because I don't think Neidhart gets quite the credit that he deserves. It's kind of like a worker in the ring. You know,
we are first off way off time.
No, I know.
I know. Say, let's bring this back.
So,
and just for the quick tie up a bow onto that, the reason I was making fun of Bret Hart is because, of course, Jarrett, he might like that dude, and I'm completely on the opposite side. I'm more the Shawn Michaels person. Anyhow,
look at the shine.
The actual star and talent of that.
But hey, you know, hey,
that'll be another one. That'll be another day.
Yeah, I'm 100% on the fact that you have to have the shine there, and then you also have to have the workers to legitimize the thing.
Otherwise, it's just talking. Like at the end of the day, it is then just talking. And
but to be fair, also to give Shawn Michaels credit, and he's always been, from multiple people, always discussed as an incredibly solid worker in the ring.
Yeah,
it's when the lights kicked in. It's more about his out of the ring stuff.
There's politics behind the scenes that everybody.
Now, hey, you know what? This is a great segue.
I was just thank you. See,
this is an awesome.
You beat me to it.
This is an awesome segue. Let's talk about CM Punk.
Talking about politics behind the scenes, it is well known that there is one person who happens to be on screen with us who is very known for his politics.
This guy, this is another reason. This is another reason why I really wish that this is a work, because CM Punk has developed a certain reputation. But
everyone's playing their role, man. Too much. If this is really a pissed off people don't play their roles this way.
Hey, let's talk about HBK, and let's talk about CM Punk. It's almost.
I was gonna bring up the Brett screwed Brett thing. We're on the same path.
No. It's almost a late 90s, early 2000s to mid 2000s version of what HBK was. Let's call a spade here. Phil has regularly been deemed a
prima donna.
Well, let's from a business perspective, let's call it a complication from the locker room perspective. But again, let's call a spade. From Ring of Honor to WWE, now we got AEW. Now, again, let's recognize that I said that I may need to put this dude closer to my top 5, because I'm saying that that's not necessarily unwarranted from Phil's perspective, but at the same time, is it necessarily the worst thing to have somebody like him come in and let's look at this. So,
hey, let me. I think I know where you're going, and this is what, again, I think it's a work, and for all the reasons you just said, for all of those reasons, yes, CM Punk is known behind the scenes or otherwise, right or wrong, and it's probably a 50-50 split. You know, these things are never all one way or the other, quite frankly. He is a complicated person to work with at times.
Yes.
Anytime you have mega talented, it doesn't even matter the industry. You have a mega talented person that is
even
whatever they
talented,
are, and then
just headstrong, right?
And are good at what they do, whatever that is. If they're your top salesman, and this goes back to my earlier point when I was talking about just how wrong the Young Bucks, ones like that are for. Because again, if Punk is their employee, he is your top draw. He is one of your top draws. Absolutely, not knocking anybody else. He is absolutely one of your box office top draws. If he's going into business for himself, if he's all of those things, you have an executive meeting. You sit that down. You're executive at your job. You know how this works. This is not. You don't walk into the place and go punch your employee in the face because they mouthed off in a public forum somewhere. You may want to. They may deserve it, but you don't do it. You go to you have your brass. You talk. You discuss what the punishment is going to be. It may be a fine. It may be a suspension. It may be termination. It may be it may be all of those things eventually. But you do that. And this is why you don't have wrestlers. But again, that's if it's not a work. Now, if it is a work, well, let's see. This can tie into a lot of things. ROH, we mentioned, right? Yeah. ROH is a big deal. ROH is near and dear to CM Punk's heart. The fact that it was CM Punk and Tony Khan, who happens to be the owner of what now? Ring of Honor. The fact that it's the two of them, and there's always been this sort of rift isn't quite the right term, unspoken power thing behind the scenes when it comes to the EVPs and Tony Khan in general, even dating back to the Cody Rhodes time period. Now, not saying these are all tied together, but there was, there's some stuff where their creative power got taken away, things like that, as it should be. Again, I don't think that you can be an active wrestler. You definitely can't have a group of you that are active wrestlers running the show too. That's just not, see the Click. This is me putting the Click in charge of all of creative. That would be terrible.
So let me say this. You can't recreate All Japan wrestling in the US. You can't do it.
No.
It doesn't translate.
No.
And I think that's been the biggest issue here. I think that the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega especially, and this is the thing, and so Paige doesn't quite have the clout to be able to kind of really push things, and
he's sort of their boy. I mean, not in a bad,
but
he does. He's their buddy.
He doesn't have. Yeah, he's not directing shit.
No.
And then you had Cody, who got intermixed with those dudes. But even if you so I've watched their Being the Elite YouTube channel. I watched their latest one today. They didn't talk about this whole brawl thing.
No.
Cody was, but back then he kind of played around, but he was never really completely in the mix. Because
I think so my issue with the whole being elite, and I'm just gonna say this and jump back. My issue with it is, again, I look at things from the fan side. Unless I'm in on all your little jokes and stuff, and I'm doing nothing with my life other than watching you on YouTube, I don't know any of this crap.
Well, so and this is the thing is that I don't even remember exactly how I got in on this. I think it was through some other wrestling like review channels that kind of was talking about stuff going on. I got cued into the Being the Elite YouTube channel before All Elite Wrestling started.
I remember that. Yeah.
So
you told me about it. You were like, "Oh, you should check this out."
And so I'll tell you, especially the way the camera and the way they did all this stuff, and they did a whole thing like way back with like a timer starting up on people's phones, within the channel, like Adam Page, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. I'm sorry, I got hiccups now. And they did this whole thing going in with the timer going off their phones, and they did this whole thing to New Year's Eve. Right before, and they did this whole like reveal with their phones, with like All Elite Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of let it into the whole thing. And like, again, the reason why it's All Elite and all this stuff. So I understand from the high perspective, but my biggest issue with this, my biggest concern from the beginning about all this, because I've been in a lot of, not all, but enough of those rooms where the doors are closed and millions of dollars are on the line.
Mm-hmm. Those executive
meetings. There is no thing that you could consider polite. It's more a matter of understanding an individual's position and reverence to that.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there's a lot of fuck you, you're trying to fucking screw me. No, you piece of shit, you're fucking coming in and pulling all this crap. No, fuck you. Right. I want my money now.
Yesterday.
Now.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of kind of jockeying back and forth. Once it gets to that level, because those are the fucking people that can make shit happen. Tony Khan ain't that dude.
So let me talk about Tony. If anybody saw, if you haven't seen the press conference, definitely go look it up.
Yeah.
And then watch body language.
Yeah,
Body
exactly.
language will tell you so much about a person way before they open their mouth, right?
Yes.
Watch his body language. He is either, again, if this is not a work, man, he's a punk. And I don't mean CM.
No, you're right.
You're all the things that, and I say it respectfully. It's just a fact of the matter. Because usually I'm not taking a shot at a guy like that, but he is everything about spoiled rich boy. Got money thrown to daddy had money.
Let me put it this way. No disrespect, but you a bitch.
I mean, seriously, you sat there again. This is why I think it's a work. I'm not sure anybody could be this much of a punk.
I hope. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. But no, but also understand.
Here, hang on.
Let you get it out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got to get this out because so Tony is sitting there the whole time. Punk is going on about his thing. Punk stops. They ask Tony, so it's a press conference, right? You've been through press conferences. It's not rocket science. People ask questions, you answer them. They ask you, usually they direct it to one of the two of you. Not always, but most of the time. So they're doing that. They would direct a question to Tony. Tony would start to answer. Punk would cut him off so that, again, if this is not a work, this is you as employee, star employee, sure, but employee cutting off the head person in your company, whatever that company is, the top dog who is about to answer, cutting him off, telling him, yeah, this guy makes me work with a whole bunch of idiots all the time and making my workplace hard because of all this. During a press, again, in a public forum, think about what any of us, we all, have a boss of some type. What would happen to you if this, again, if this is not a work? What would happen to you in your job if you did these things?
I'd be taking his job, or her job, or whomever. But unfortunately,
and he went through all of that. So again, if it's not a work, it has to be a work, because if it's not, and you sat there, you should be beyond ashamed. Like, be beyond ashamed of yourself. You let this man be disrespectful to you, your vice presidents, your whole company as a whole.
Basically, it's but unfortunately,
you are all a bunch of pussies, for lack of a better.
Unfortunately,
I wish there was a better term. That's really what it is at that point.
Unfortunately, there's a history. There's a precedent. There's Tony Khan. Tony Khan needs to be kind of the money man and kind of a silent partner, and he needs to get somebody that understands the wrestling business. And honestly, Tony Khan needs somebody that's a fucking asshole about the wrestling business. And
he needs some people between him and the Kenny Omegas. And I'm saying Kenny.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm not even 1,000% sure Kenny is the right guy. I'm not so sure that the Young Bucks aren't I keep going back to them because they tend to bubble up all the time. They're never exactly in the spotlight, but they're always real close to the spotlight.
If like the whole BTE YouTube shit, it's a bunch of crap about the tennis shoes they're buying and a bunch of montages with them looking all tough.
These are frat boys.
Oh no, they're not even frat boys. I was part of a fraternity in Virginia. Listen, they wouldn't even fucking make it, and they would have gotten their asses kicked.
All their little
but their clicks. They got their clicks. They got their whole thing
not the KLIQ one.
No. They want to be. Yeah. That's what they want to be.
That's it. And that's what I'm seeing. And that's why deep down, I'm not so sure. It may be a work shoot, but I'm not so sure. This is where I can see how if I was Tony Khan and I needed to distance myself, let's put it like that, from the Young Bucks and the Kennys of the world. I needed, maybe I know, like I see where this is going. Maybe I do behind the scenes, because this wouldn't be on camera, have some people that are in my ear that really know the business, that are like, look, that's cool if you're trying to play in this league, but if you want to be in this one, you're going to have to make some no heart related choices and decisions. And that means, unfortunately, I mean, we talk about it in basketball or sports, other sports in general. You know, an athlete that comes from college or high school and he goes to college, you got to let some people go. You know what? You go to the NBA or the NFL and you're making millions of dollars, you need to let some people go. And it's not, they may have been there with you when you were born and all this stuff. That's all well and good. But are they doing anything good for you right now or into your future? No. You got to cut them loose. It's not changing. It's called growing up. And if the company wants to grow up, it may be time. And I say cut loose from not cutting loose talent. You don't cut loose talent, right?
I am 100% in the position that the best thing for AEW right now is to drop the Young Bucks.
And
I am in
the room, not even behind the scenes. Not just behind the scenes, but also in front of the camera, also in kayfabe, also not in kayfabe. Who are the ones that are strong enough to do that against him?
Yes, I would let the Young Bucks go, and because of that, I will let Kenny Omega go. Now, let's put this in perspective.
Before we jump, let me just say this little part about the guys that I think we're on the same page. We're on this. I think we're going down the same road. I think the Young Bucks. I think the cutesy stuff is, and it's not even like I have anything really against them. I think they're fine. I think they're very interesting. I mean, they're fun. They're hilarious, stuff like that. It's not that. But if you're ready to make that jump, the guys that are ready to also make that jump with you, of course, CM Punk, he has the credentials. He has all the history. He's been there. He's done this. He's been there on that other stage over there. He's had his squabbles and problems and things like that. The other guy that is becoming and again, I think this is why it happened. He needed to become the anti-hero. So while all this insanity is happening over here, CM Punk's yelling about this, but he's sort of right. And the Young Bucks are over here, and they're a bunch of prima donna pricks. And all of this, there's the man of the people, even if he's also a devil in disguise. Let's just say man of the people, because that's what he is now. Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Anyhow, he becomes the headline, the main event, the icon.
I don't care how you work it in. I don't care how you twist the story. Professional wrestling is better because MJF is a part of it. Period. Period.
That's what I'm saying.
Period.
And if you were doing this, wouldn't this be the way you did it?
In a way. In a way. Like, and this again, this kind of comes down to my whole thing is like, I hope
like, please
this
let
is
it
a work.
be right. Let's please be right.
I hope this is a work. I hope this is all will work, because dear God, this will be a story. This will be a in-depth storyline that will be talked about.
Storyline. This will be an age, and do you know what I mean when I'm saying that?
Yes, like attitude era,
not age, era.
like attitude era. Like this will be something that will kind of fall
social media
into
era, whatever era you want to call it.
Whatever. But
the YouTube, Twitch era, whatever.
This is something Punk, even before he accepted the contract in Chicago, fat shamed some dude. Yeah. Let's like in his hometown, before Steel came out and handed him the contract and is like, no, you ain't going out like that, brah, because I got you. You're my boy. I know you better, and it ain't happening, which is exactly what Steel did, which is exactly what you should fucking do.
All especially,
of these things especially to a Chicago crowd. Especially to a Chicago crowd. Come on. Like, you know damn right they're gonna be like in on that. Boom, boom, boom. And then you also like layer in the fact you got the guy that you worked with back like in Chicago, cut your teeth with, like worked your ass out through. Jim Ross. Let me get this out.
All the pieces.
Let me get this out. Because Jim Ross, I fucking love Jim Ross.
Oh man, don't we all?
But
everybody's gotta love Jim.
One fucking line. One kind of very clear, quick, succinct line from Jim Ross sets the stage that Steel is a guy like that. He said it much better than I could. I don't have the exact verbiage, but basically comes in and is basically very, and this is why Jim Ross is Jim Ross. He very succinctly calls out that Steel is one of CM Punk's boys when he's the one that runs out and picks up that contract that Moxley dropped.
Yeah.
Now, take it back a few days. Now, apparently, he's the one, not Punk. He's the one that bit.
Who bites somebody in the face? I just gotta ask.
Olivier.
Who bites somebody in the face, man?
I got it. It's so hard.
I would love to see the video evidence of all of this. I would just like to point that out.
I can't. It's so hard because I can't. Like how do I like? It's so funny because like I can't like automatically not use Jim Cornette's wording. Steel apparently bit Olivier, which is Kenny Omega, which is
why is that the move?
because apparently his wife was there with their kid,
with their dog. No, they were looking after somebody's dog.
The wife, Steel's wife was there with CM Punk's dog. You're right. It was a dog, and then Steel apparently bit Omega My heart. I'm trying to get the word Omega out.
He didn't bite Omega. I thought he bit one of the Young Bucks in the face. I thought maybe he threw a chair.
Nick
threw a chair and knocked.
Well, no, he also he
knocked somebody out by throwing a chair, and he bit somebody. He bit Olivier
/ Omega, and then he hit either Nick or Matt with the chair. And then somehow through the whole thing, one of the Young Bucks got a black eye, and
somebody got hit with a chair.
No, it was a chair. No, it was a chair, kind of thrown, kind of thing. And then somebody walked out of the whole thing. I mean, so many fucking hell, man. Mick Foley.
I want video evidence of all of this because this would be amazing to see.
Mick Foley took how many unprotected chair shots to the head
and never got knocked out.
Fucking wrestling. This is one of this again. And
how do you in a real fight, like a legitimate? You're a big dude. I'm not that tall. I am all of 5'10". Like I am not that tall a dude. If you threw a metal chair, and I'm saying metal simply because it's wrestling, I think they only have metal chairs there. You threw a chair at me. How? From what part of the arena would you have had to have thrown this chair to knock me out?
Well, no. It was separated from the black. It was separated from the black eye.
The black
eye.
It
was separate, and like it was one like you got hit with the chair and all this stuff. So as someone who's bounced bars and has dealt with a lot of stuff, like not kayfabe, legitimate and not folding chair, like the whole like
the breakaway kind, right?
Like the whole like 4-post with like the wooden back end and like had that shit like smashed on you and all that stuff. I still have a scar like right here from from the thick end of a 40 bottle, like right across my eye. You know, here's the thing. One chair shot is just gonna piss me off.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's
out of shape old people. You know what I mean? Like,
one chair's gonna piss me off now. Now, what I'm capable of doing to you is gonna be a lot less than what I would do to you 20 years ago, but that fury
still
is just right there. And
right there, instant. Yeah.
This, like you talking about, like
what's the country music song? I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was.
Absolutely.
Yeah. To be as good once as you ever was, that emotion.
Oh, I got
side or the hate side.
I got a story about that. But yeah, like for Young Bucks, yeah, they're in their 30s. Yeah, they've been on, but apparently, but here's the thing. Apparently, they are the ones that went into the locker room.
Mm-hmm. You cannot have that. You cannot have that. If this is not a work.
I'm sorry.
If this is not a work.
I'm sorry. But
they almost should be fired before the day is over.
There's no way that's ending well. You can.
And if it's not a work, for their own safety, they shouldn't have done that.
No.
CM Punk will kill them.
There's no way that would end well because. Yes, you can joke about CM Punk's MMA record. Guess what? He fucking stood up in the octagon.
Yeah,
which
this is the
means
same. We talked about it earlier. I'm gonna refer back real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make fun of my boy Shawn Michaels. There is a reason that Shawn booked his butt out of the ring when Bret Hart realized what was going on at the
damn right.
the Montreal
Bret Hart would have whooped
if Bret Hart
ass.
had put his hands on him and had really wanted to decide to fight, it was a lot different.
Done.
It was not going to end well for
Mr.
HBK, and Shawn's my boy.
It was done but I mean, just by the fact, just by the fact that Bret grew up as Stu Hart's son.
Yes.
Period.
Certain people.
Period.
That you
period.
Knew,
like,
should things break down, Eddie Guerrero, Eddie.
Yeah.
If things broke down, we could switch over. Benoit, if things broke down, he could switch over. Kenny,
Shamrock. Yeah.
If things broke down,
legitimate fighters. Yes.
Yeah, those are legitimate guys, and there are certain guys that are out there today that are legitimate. If things broke down and you decide to go into business for yourself,
Riddle is one of those dudes. Riddle's one of those dudes.
Absolutely.
That you don't want to fuck with.
If you really want to do this,
Malachi Black. I think that he has so much time training, so much just legitimate training. But there's those dudes, and the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, they are not. They are not
very much
them.
So kayfabe oriented. And I say that as if I'm making fun of them. I am not.
No, it's not like you have to be.
It's their business. No,
it's not like you have to be, but at the same time, if you're blowing smoke at somebody, and I mean, I really out of the whole like elite batch, man, my money would be on fucking Adam Page.
Who, to be fair,
it really, because he's a down
Page
South Virginia boy.
He's
a down South Virginia boy. I think now I'm comparing it relatively to the group. Let's make this clear.
Sure.
I think out of the batch, my money would be on a down South Virginia boy, which is what Page is.
Kenny's from even slightly further south.
He's from fucking
North Carolina.
He's from fucking Canada. He's from fucking Canada, and
that's not what his intro says. It says it real clear. It's North Carolina.
Spends time in North Carolina because they're trying to figure out a way to steal the fucking entrance from Flair.
Yeah.
Because Flair technically wasn't from North Carolina either.
No.
He's from Minnesota.
I forgot where he's from, but I looked it up.
No, he's from Minnesota, and I guarantee you what fucking Omega never did. Omega never spent his time fucking with Steamboat fucking cradled on top of his shoulders, fucking through 3 flights of fucking stairs and back down zillions of fucking times. There's no fucking way that guy. There's no way Omega's had like a legitimate wrestling fucking.
Let's talk about Omega for a second.
Because God,
he's involved. I think the people that are really the issue here are the Young Bucks. They just keep showing up.
Yeah.
They just keep. Sometimes, again, this might be one of those times that maybe Omega is that star, and maybe your friends it might be time to let them go if you want to continue to rise. If you
Yes.
want to, or
Yes.
you don't,
Yes.
and
Yes.
you just kind of hang out with your boys. And there's nothing to be, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that too.
What did
have a good
Cody
living.
do? What did
But
Cody do?
Go ahead.
I'm saying, what did Cody hit the fucking jackpot. Maybe. Cody jumped over to the WWE before
Trips.
all this shit. So then you have Trips. Now, here's my thing about Trips. Here's my thing about Trips. Here's my thing about Trips. Because I'm, I remember the incident in the garden, right?
Yeah, where everybody hugs the click. That's just to throw. Sorry, hang. I just give everybody a little bit.
Go ahead.
It's Triple H. You're talking about where Triple H the curtain call.
The curtain call.
So Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, or Diesel and Razor Ramon. And I have to say it with a bad accent intentionally because, he did. So the two of them were leaving. They were leaving and going to WCW.
Yep.
And they were leaving to go. So it was their last time, and they were off-screen, real-life friends. And so it was Triple H. Was it Shawn? Right? Shawn was in that one.
Shawn was in a match. Shawn was in a match. Shawn was in a match with Razor.
Yeah. So at the end of the match, it was within a cage and all of this. The four of them, and it was supposed to be, again, heels versus faces. I can't remember who was which, but they were good and they were the bad, right?
Yeah.
And you never on screen, never ever, especially then, ever on screen break kayfabe.
Yep.
And not only did they break kayfabe, they hugged each other very clearly in the ring, like, because it was their last match together. They knew that Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, they're boys. They were going. This is me. Me and Jarrett. I'm getting ready to go to WCW. I say it that way because it'd probably be me. I'm heading over to try to jump over to, and we're breaking up on the stream. And hey, man, but we're supposed to be enemies. We're supposed to be complete enemies, and they get together on screen. Anyhow, go ahead. That was just in case anybody didn't know what we were talking about.
The whole thing with the Madison Square Garden incident, and one of the big things where I go into respect for Triple H, it was Triple H that took all of the heat.
Oh, he had to. Because Shawn was the talent.
Yes.
At the time, no disrespect.
He was
Shawn was the star. He was the champ.
He was the champ, but then he also he relatively quickly lost his smile.
I knew you were gonna say it. I knew you were gonna say it. Yeah, he lost his smile. Okay.
It was very, and now what I will also say is because Shawn was the champion,
sure,
a big piece of that was then the draw significantly dipped. The overall, and so then that's when, like, effectively when the WWE draw for the champion dropped down to its lowest numbers.
Was that start of the 83 or 84 week, or is it 83 weeks? 83 week run.
It was very close. It was right very close. And so what ended up happening?
Technically speaking, Shawn Michaels is not a wrestler during the Attitude Era. Even though you think he would be, he's not.
He's not.
That's during his injury hiatus.
He
started it sort of
somehow,
kind of, not really.
Somehow managed to drop out of that whole thing.
He missed all of it,
and then,
I know because the joke is that Jarrett laughs at me. We laugh about this every so often. Shawn Michaels, one of my top 2 wrestlers of all time, and I never got to see him wrestle live, or at least on TV live, until he came back the second or third or fifth time.
Yeah,
where he was hurt after his injury with the Undertaker and everything.
Yeah,
it wasn't until after all that I actually got to see him live. I had to go back, and I was always watching tape of Shawn. So, anyhow, go ahead.
He unfortunately, and because and this is I don't care about Shawn Michaels as the character in wrestling, but you would have to be a fool not to respect his ability in the ring.
Oh sure,
but
I don't want us to get too far off topic. Like we're going over.
But well, we tend to drift. Shawn Michaels. There's a lot of
correlations between.
Shawn Michaels is a very, very effective analogy to CM Punk. I think that CM Punk is someone that, and I gotta feel the dude. He's very contentious, very, very clear about who he is and what he wants to do professionally. Let's not make a mistake that it was CM Punk on the mic in that press conference that says, I am trying to run a business.
Yes. See, and that's part of you're adding to the reasons I believe.
I hope. I'm telling you. I hope.
Come on, man.
But I'm on the side of, oh my God, I hope this is a work.
Like I said, it's so weird for you and I to both be on opposite. We're on the wrong opposite side. Like we are supposed to switch at some point.
I'm not convinced it is, but dear God, I hope it is. I hope it is. I really, really hope it is. And because it's CM Punk involved, you never can know.
It is all of the things.
Oh,
I mean, look at it. If you just go high level and look at it all, right? So you have what has been the grumblings behind the scenes, officially or unofficially, with AEW. Well, they're just sort of they're like a WCW wannabe, right? They're just signing all the same things that WCW, and again, for anybody that doesn't know, WCW group that went out of business back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But they, for a while, were neck and neck with WWF at the time. And, right there, et cetera. But they did a lot of this. They did a lot of the, we're going to sign all the ex-WWF guys. And because of that, we're going to boost our ratings because, hey, look, it's the new shiny thing of the week. Because, this guy became available and yay, they showed up. And that was before the social media craze and things like that. But in this with the social media thing, with Kenny being, Kenny, and they got the Goof Troop Elite thing going on over there. And in a way, MJF's one of them officially, but he's one of them in the only in the way as in he's homegrown talent, right? True to form homegrown talent. Something like Austin, definitely like Austin. And only like this other guy in the homegrown talent aspect. Only in the homegrown talent aspect. He's got some Sting quality to him. And it's only in the homegrown talent for WCW. Back in the day. Sting was the homegrown talent, etc., etc. Punk can never be that. As great as he is, he's never, ever. When I see him on television, I don't think AEW first. Just fact of the matter. Daniel Bryanson or Brian Daniel, whatever his name is currently. Michael Sean Hickenbottom. I think WCW. I mean WWF rather. WWE.
Sure.
I got it.
Sure.
I got it. One of those letters. WWE. I think of WWE when it comes to Punk. When it comes to Bryan Danielson. When it comes to Jon Moxley, I am thinking the Shield. I am not thinking Jon Moxley. That's Dean Ambrose. It's just what it is. You know what? We're in the day and age where we know that other promotions exist. We know all of these other things exist. They can be the face that runs the place, but not really. You can always, if you bring up somebody that's the homegrown talent, the only true homegrown talent that I believe could truly lead the company at this point, for where we are in 2022, all the crazy and stuff like that, Kenny Omega, he's the rose that was there, but his bloom is starting to fade, basically, is sort of where I'm going with that. In other words, his time is, he used his power of the rose out in New Japan, which was great. And it was great to get AEW started, but he's not that guy. It's not going to be CM Punk. It's not Daniel Bryanson. It's not any of those guys. The only ones that they could really use to truly prop it up and have the mentality for it. He's not a dingbat. He is very much into kayfabe. He is like a real, quote, quote, real wrestler, would be MJF.
Yeah,
he's the clear dude for that.
I agree. I think that the only thing I'd argue against to a point.
Yeah, I was gonna say argue
is on the CM Punk side, because he separated himself from WWE long enough ago, and under very contentious.
Is he AEW? When you see CM Punk,
that's well. So,
or do you think CM Punk like his own entity, his own business?
Here's my problem with it, is because I remember watching CM Punk in Ring of Honor.
Fair enough.
Now, so from my initial perspective of watching CM Punk, and like the whole of his career, it seems to me more of an anomaly that he was in WWE in the first place.
And unfortunately, I think that's a sign of the times type of deal, as in there was no other place to go where you go.
Right.
Even he was.
Right.
I mean, he was always the one that even let off like that was just never a place for me. I should never have been there. But especially in the early 2000s or so, when did he move over? Early 2000s, mid 2000s,
something like
mid single digit 2000s. There was no other place to go.
Yeah,
there was no other even place to kind of go. There was definitely no AEW. New Japan you were never going to be seen again. It was Ring of Honor, and then you went to.
He played out the role that MJF is doing right now.
Exactly.
And I think that if you were really to talk to MJF like straight up, no cameras, just because if there's a camera, he's gonna kayfabe that shit.
He's gonna start chomping that gum, and
he's but absolutely very clear, no cameras. You see the pictures with him with CM Punk. You see it. He's
that's his boy. That's his idol.
He's Roddy Piper. He's
that. So is Punk.
100. Roddy set the stage. Just that, and it's between.
Even back to their what's the one that around the neck? Not horse collar. Collar. All of that.
Yeah,
that's Roddy Piper.
Yeah, that's Roddy Piper all day. But it's also like a kind of a mix of like Brian Pillman, just like there's all these things that they're working through. I think like out of everybody in AEW, like Punk is like I think between basically it's like MJF and Darby Allin. It's like those two are, and then like he loves to be able to like tag out FTR and like those guys, but like as far as like working like singles matches, I think I think it's
they come from the same cloth.
It's MJF and Darby Allin. It's those guys
completely
that are just
1000% see. I think we're on the same page here. 1000%. This is why, again, I go back to, oh my goodness, it's a work. Seriously. MJF, man of the people now. Man of the people. He's the voice.
But
I hate to say the voice of the voiceless.
At the same time, he's flipping them all off.
But Punk. So even if there's some real, again, the best lies are the ones that are sprinkled with a little bit of truth. Actually, a lot of bit of truth. Those are the best lies.
Yep.
So if that's the case, what's the sprinkle of truth? Well, that the elite are kind of cliquish and not in a good way. The bad cliquish.
Right.
They are a little bit below where you want to go. They're the guys that you eventually will need to step over to move up. Okay, if that's the case, well, let's see. CM Punk, I think you can say a lot of bad things about CM Punk with his attitude and things like that. Sure. With that said, there is one thing I actually really do believe about him. I believe that he sees... It's what he was in Ring of Honor, right? It was. He wants to be. Godfather is the only way I can really describe this. It's not quite the right term. But he's that guy that's bringing those other guys up. He is okay.
Yes. Yeah.
He wants to be not the leader in that sense, but the guy that paved the road. He wants to be everybody else to walk the frick down that road because he is helping them pave that road as well. Not even paving it himself. He is helping them pave that road.
Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. He is perfectly content with putting people over as long as he is the catalyst for change.
Yes. He wants someone else at the end of the day.
Yeah.
He wants someone else to be able to contend true professional wrestling.
Right.
To contend with sports entertainment.
And yeah, because no, he has no patience for sports entertainment. He has none. He has
ironically
absolutely none. It's
ironically he would be he absolutely despises with a white hot passion your other boy that we've talked about quite a bit.
like Triple H. I think though that,
or at least the Triple H that was 20 years ago.
I think
15 years ago.
I think that if I think Phil looking at
Paul
what
Levesque. I'm sorry,
I'm
Triple H,
but
Paul Levesque.
like Phil looking at what Paul did with NXT and how he was able to position that and how he managed it and didn't manage it at the same time, and how he let people develop themselves to be themselves and kind of help. Like he wasn't Vince McMahon in every announcer's ear telling them how to announce,
so bad.
Like, oh my god, yeah, I
can you imagine someone talking in your ear the entire time you're sitting here doing this?
I could not do it. I couldn't do it. I'd be like, fuck you, shut up, rip the ear out. I'm gonna do it.
Jarrett has enough trouble with me not finishing sentences.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Could you imagine?
I couldn't. I can halfway finish his sentences, and that's even worse enough.
Exactly.
It's terrible. It's no. I think that objectively, I think that CM Punk would look at what Triple H did with NXT and how he was able to foster that whole environment and everything else. And I think realistically, I would fault CM Punk if he were to say that was bullshit, because it wasn't. There was a good time where, honestly, the best wrestling in the market was NXT.
And not this 2.0 crap. None of that. Nothing with a tie-dye in it. But the black and gold original NXT.
The original NXT, there was a time where that was the best wrestling you could
for sure
find, and it was no question,
especially before AEW even showed up.
NXT,
Again, I'm gonna talk from the complete wrestling fan side of things. That was what I watched. I was watching Finn Balor, and I was watching those guys level up, for lack of a better term, and enjoying that far more than anything, any PG rated whatever was happening on Raw or SmackDown at the time. And this is, of course, before Bloodline and all the other innovations that have kind of come along, or good storylines. But it was just because it was so cookie cutter and ridiculous and just random, whole lot of randomness. Anyhow, let's do a quick break, quick pause for the cause. Otherwise, different kind of stream. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Yep, sounds good.
All right. Back in a sec.
Welcome back. Had to take a little bit of a break there, but what were we even talking about beforehand? That's the biggest question. I think the biggest thing is that, and I guess the biggest question on all of this is that, based off of the comments from quote unquote elite within AEW and CM Punk, given the alleged altercations going on in the back and CM Punk's statements both in the ring and at the media scrum, especially the media scrum, is it a work?
Yes. Oh, sorry. There was more to that question.
I'm asking it. I asked a very clear question, but it's okay. So you say yes now.
If you're out there and again, if you're on YouTube or Twitch, depending on which one you're watching this on, let us know what you think as well. We definitely want to hear.
Absolutely.
This is a discussion because this is going to be an ongoing thing, right? This is definitely not an end of the. I fully think it's a work. I'm just saying, just between you, me, and the several million people. It's a work. But what do you think? Jarrett thinks.
My answer is that I hope it's a work.
But if gun to your head, you got to pick one. Which one you going with, man? Is it a work?
Gun to my head.
Plead the fifth. No.
Well, sure. But if that gun to your head, pleading the fifth gets you nowhere.
Get your bullet.
Right. Sure. If I had to go gun to my head, especially with Tony Khan sitting there with Sam Punk, it better be a work. It better be a work.
I'm totally playing devil on the show.
Nah,
Jarrett he's hedging a little bit. I can't believe that I'm the one playing this role. If anybody's watching the stream and you know us and you've seen our interaction, this is not normally my position.
No, it better be a work.
Saying better.
No, because I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it more from Tony Khan's perspective.
Dude,
it better be a work. Because if this is not a work, if this that dude right there, and I already think he should step back. But like, if this shit ain't a work, and the way he was looking through the whole thing with CM Punk,
his man, I wish if it wasn't such a thing, we should have talked about it maybe off stream and had a picture. Watch, you have to go. Everybody's watching. Please take a moment. I don't want, of course, always watch all of our videos prior to doing this. Watch the scrum. Watch the scrum. And don't watch. You don't even have to watch it with audio. Legitimately.
Look at the body language.
Only Tony Khan. Don't listen to CM Punk. He'll talk and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's not interesting or anything like that. Just watch Tony Khan, and think in your head the whole time you're watching him, think, if this is real, legitimately real, no work, no kayfabe, this is really happening, and he's the top guy of the company, watch his body language. Watch his looks while his employee, not his VP, EVP, not that, no, his top salesman or top burger flipper, whatever you want to call it, his top guy, but employee, his top employee is mouthing off about the company, about executive vice presidents.
It wasn't
business,
that much.
Cutting him off while he's answering.
Yes.
The disrespect, etc., etc. Watch it with the eye as if this is real. Watch it that way and watch his body language and tell me, if it's real, what does that make him?
A bitch. There is no way. There is no way.
I feel like we're doing the Key and Peele sketch. He's a.
It is. There's. Listen. I, as high as I am, and as high as I've worked my way up to, I am anywhere close to where Tony Khan is supposed to be from his position within AEW,
within the company, within that. And
company. I can tell you 100%.
At your level, like let me ask the question, because you're going there. I know.
Yeah.
So at your level, I'm your employee. I am your employee. You happen to be the top of the industry. And just a little bit of background. Jarrett has a very high-ranking position with a company, so he's in the executive area. So I am your employee. Let's say there's nobody past you. I'm your employee, and we are having a discussion at a conference. And I'm the top dog. Like, I am your star employee, your creme de la creme. You know, I'm the dude that you want everybody else to be in the company. And I am cutting you off. I am talking about everybody that's between me and you in the company as far as the hierarchy goes. I am talking about all of the stuff that CM Punk talks about. What do you do in that moment?
Assuming it got that far, which it wouldn't.
In the moment, we're both sitting there.
In the moment, again, here's the thing. You would have been looking at a much stronger position presented than what Tony Khan did. First and foremost. Second of all, CM Punk would have been given one cutoff. Only because I didn't see it coming.
You were a little surprised. Everybody gets surprised, you know? Sometimes you're like, oh, what happened?
And that's it. If I was Tony Khan in that situation, at that table, CM Punk's thigh would not be able to operate until I let it go.
Yeah. Again, if we're playing the, you know, where I'm playing the CM Punk role and you're Tony Khan.
It's one of those things. The words from CM Punk. I am trying to run a business. No, that would have been cut off. No. I'd have been
We're done here.
Vocalize. No. What I would have vocalized. No, let's make this clear. Let's make this 100% clear for everyone listening, everyone that can pull this shit off YouTube and everything else. Let's make this 100% clear. I am the running this business.
Yeah, I'm the one running this business. I have a business to run.
You are a talent.
You are the business, but I'm running it.
It's no.
Be clear.
You are a talent.
An immense talent, one that I am happy to have here in AEW.
But under no conditions.
Yeah.
There's no situation where I will have someone under me present what we do and say it's my team. No. You are under me. When you present, you are speaking about our team.
Us. We.
When I present, this is a situation where I speak about my team. It's my team because I'm the one that decides that's part of my team. If you don't like being part of my team, you will be fired tomorrow. Period.
Yeah. You don't get to fight with the EVPs. And oh, by the way, EVPs.
Oh God! See now, this is, and again, this is where I am thinking that CM Punk ain't wrong. He shouldn't have said it. He shouldn't have said it. But he ain't wrong.
Well,
he ain't wrong.
Maybe. I mean, just maybe. He actually is doing an end around work.
I hope so.
If
so.
The head guy and the fourth guy are in line, then the guys that are in second and third may want to watch out.
I hope so.
Because sometimes the head guy can't say certain things that are true, even if he's the head guy. Like if you're in charge of everything, you can say whatever you want. It's your place, right? No, but that's not true. That. You know, like the higher up you go, there's certain things you just can't say. If I'm a help desk employee, I can get away with saying certain things.
But here's the thing. The reason why that is because when you get up to a certain point, you have to be able to show that you have a certain level of control.
Yes.
Over your department.
That has to be shown.
There's
trust
within
the your weight. And your words carry so much more weight.
And Tony Khan.
I'm a little help desk guy that doesn't. I can say this company is the terrible thing, and they'll be out of business tomorrow.
Let's put it this way.
If I'm in charge of the company, and I say the business is going to be out of business tomorrow.
Let's really call brass tacks on this shit right here. Tony Khan, without his daddy's money,
sure,
at an interview to run and manage a key part of the business that I need to have effective thoroughbreds, key effective people to manage a team to get it done. Because if they don't, it's my ass on the line. Guess what? I'm not hiring that fucker. Period. I am not hiring that dude. I am not hiring Tony Khan to run anything.
So we talk a lot of times about, so Jarrett and I, again, know each other forever and ever. Jarrett tends to lean more on the, okay, this is really what's happening. Forget Ian, you're being a mark.
The business, the kayfabe, right?
And I want to believe it.
Yeah.
Do I know wrestling is scripted? Of course.
Sure.
But I want to believe it. I want to see something on TV and go, that is believable. I am invested, and I am entertained.
Right.
Those are all the things. That's usually our stance.
Entertained at least.
Yes, I'm at least entertained. Even if I don't believe it, I'm at least entertained. You know what? This is 2 hours that I am laughing or having fun or a little annoyed. Whatever it is, but I'm invested. Whatever it is, you know, I'm in on it. I'm in with it. I'm following your storyline, hook, line, and sinker. Call me a mark, whatever.
Fair enough. Yep.
Yeah. So that is usually sort of the stance that Jarrett and I are coming from. In this particular case, man, it better be a work. We keep talking about it.
It better be a work. There's no good.
If it's not a work, and I say this measured because I've been kind of thinking about it the whole time. If it's not a work, quite frankly, we may be looking at the beginning
of the end of
AEW.
Yep, 100%. That is exactly where I'm coming from. Dear God, this better be a work. Even if it's a shoot kind of work kind of thing.
If it's a shoot that has got a little squirrely,
or you're kind of shoot like you're taking something that would be a shoot.
Of the grievances.
It's friggin' Festivus. It's friggin' Festivus. Maybe I would 100% be involved with that, where you're taking something that's potentially contentious and then working that, and it's like let's hey, best for business, pal. Like you know, fine.
Will this be good?
Fair enough. Fair enough. I really hope, because also you got to consider one of Tony's later answers around this whole thing, where he was talking about where this is contention, but ultimately saying is like the conflict is effectively good for business because of the business they're in.
You're right.
Okay. So, and again, Tony saying that is another reason why it better be a fucking work. Because, dear God, if it's not, it's just,
it's done.
It's
like, honestly, but if you think back, so I'm picturing. I don't for a second believe. All right, again, I think this is a work, and if I was doing it, this would almost be exactly how I do it. First off, also the one thing I hadn't mentioned during all of this, who's been getting a lot of the headlines here lately? Like when it comes down to wrestling in general, who's been getting all the headlines? Has it been AEW? Because they were. When AEW was the new kid in town, new kid on the block, whatever analogy you want to go with that. when they were that guy, they were getting all the headlines. All of the YouTube channels, Twitch, whatever, were showing, that if they talked about AEW, was just in these glowing reviews and just so much love, peace, and harmony. And when it came to AEW, while everybody kind of like, when it came to WWF or WWE, complete. That's not the case since Vince stepped down. So since Triple H has taken over in the last however many months it's been, or a month or two, it's all about this glowing positivity, and AEW has not turned completely by any stretch, but they aren't the new kid in town. They're not the pretty girl that just showed up in school. They're not the transfer student that, the hot girl or guy, whichever one, that showed up in school and is brand new, is like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? They're not that anymore. So maybe they're evolving, and this is that next era that's about to happen. And I think back to what MJF said during he set the tone for all the things that everyone has kind of thought as far as Tony Khan, right? He set the character. He set it. When he was like, you effing Mark and all this stuff during his pipe bomb. When he was on the last time.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yes.
The tone as far as how the audience is supposed to now view Tony Khan. Because up until then, Tony was always kind of the good guy. One of us, we're a fan, you're a fan, and you're a rich fan. So you're kind of like Steve Cohen for the Mets. I'm a Mets fan. So,
sure.
Steve Cohen is a really rich Mets fan, and he bought the team. So yay, thank God that he bought the thing. Thank you, Steve. But he's a fan. He's one of us. Hence, we all like him. Tony Khan is one of us. He's a wrestling fan. He's a mark, whatever you want to call that. But he's rich, and he was able to start a company and do whatever he likes. Heck, we'd all like to do that, right?
Sure.
Being you, if we had the money, start a wrestling company. It would be fun. Maybe only for you and me, but still. It would still be fun. So he was that guy, the everyman. But that sort of has to evolve too. Because it's much like, if you look back at Vince McMahon, you don't have to look very far to figure this out. Vince McMahon was a commentator. No one knew he owned the company.
No,
not really.
No.
That was a different time. Social media is a different world. The internet's a different thing. But no one knew. Then he did this screw Brett, and now we're,
Well, but even on the back end, McMahon was a commentator because that's how he wanted to present himself.
Sure.
Behind the scenes, there were no decisions that didn't go through him.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you ultimately, once he made a decision, it was very clear
who was in charge.
Yes.
Right. Now,
I have a very hard time. I have a very hard time, even from the beginning. This is my biggest issue. That yeah, you're putting together this whole wrestling promotion. You're putting together all these
you have
people.
Money.
Yes, you're putting together all this stuff. But you better find that dude to run this thing.
So,
because he was never going to be that guy. The wrestling business is a completely different animal from anything else.
Sure, absolutely.
It's got just enough
And has he ever been in charge of? It sounds like I'm being disrespectful.
He's been
because
the
your
head
dad
booker.
has money doesn't mean you
are
complete butts. You know what I mean? Are there plenty of those? Sure.
But I don't see enough evidence to convince me that he's not that putz. I just don't.
Let's say he is. Let's say he is starstruck a bit, right? Let's say he's starstruck a bit. I'm not knocking him for it. Heck, if I had a whole bunch of money and Michael Jordan or Scottie Pippen came up to me, or in wrestling, Shawn Michaels, Sting, they showed up and were like, "Hey, Ian, I think you should start a wrestling promotion, and we want to run it." I'd be like, "Yes, done." But at some point along the way, and it would take someone like a Punk, Bryanson. It would take someone like that I go, "Oh, wait, these are guys who have done it at a big level in other organizations." I won't know the fact that Michael Jordan wants to draft she was that dude from Washington, Kwame Brown. I don't know that Michael Jordan as an executive is maybe not the greatest executive out there. And I don't know the fact that he's telling me to draft Kwame Brown is not maybe the greatest thing I should do with the number 1 pick. Because he's Michael Jordan in my mind. All hail. He's the GOAT. He's the man. Everything he says must be true until someone else comes in. Pat Riley. I'll use this as an example. We'll go with the basketball thing here. This will be the only time that I put Pat Riley above Michael Jordan. Pat Riley comes in and he's like, "Listen, this isn't gonna work. Kwame Brown sucks. You shouldn't. Why are you doing this? What? Here are the ways to step to that next level. You want to keep growing. You want to keep going. You can go with Kwame Brown and this, level of thought." And I'm getting a little lost in this. Or you can graduate up here and we can become exactly where you're trying to go.
What it speaks to is that yes, especially within like Ring of Honor and New Japan Wrestling, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks were able to position themselves as very solid, respectable talent.
Talent being the key word.
Exactly.
Actual on-screen talent.
Yeah.
Top salesman, top burger flipper.
It doesn't mean fuck all about running a wrestling promotion. And that's
thinking above your character.
It's that, and again, it's I think that you need to be able to have the wherewithal, which apparently Tony Khan to this extent, as best as I've been able to see from him, does not have the wherewithal to effectively identify leadership talent. It's a different thing. It's you have.
That's where I think the kind of question I have. if I was running it again, kind of going with that same analogy, if I was running it and I came in and it's Shawn Michaels and Sting, and oh my goodness, you know, they're the greatest. Oh, you know, they're my favorites, and I'm a fan, and they're telling me to run it this way, and then, you know, Triple H, Stone Cold, whoever, you know, comes in and is like, yeah, so when we were at the top, this is actually what we did at that other brand, and this is kind of how we went about it. I have to give pause, and that's where I get defined as an owner at that point.
Right.
It's okay. I got us to here. Cool. I'm a fan, and we're all happy, and we got us to here, and now rah rah kumbaya, all that good, you know, good positive feeling. It holds you for so long, and then it kind of trickles down. Then it's, you know, the honeymoon period is over, like a marriage, right? Honeymoon period's over. So what are you bringing to the table? Hot girl? Wow, she's gorgeous. Oh, that's amazing. Oh my goodness, everything is so wonderful. Okay, after a little bit of time together, however you want to take that.
I can go down to I can go down to Miami Beach and replace you tomorrow. I'm sorry.
After a little bit of time together, what else are you bringing to this, and vice versa? You know, like from the guy's perspective, what are you bringing to?
Sure, but if you're just
more
big,
than no matter how pretty you are,
just
handsome, whatever.
If you're just built but can't move, like a fucking pile of bricks, then I mean, there's things.
You're a basketball player who's 7 feet but can't walk and chew gum.
Yeah. Oh God. There's also I think, you know, people really need to give credence to the wrestling shape versus a lot of other sports. It's not the same thing.
No.
And no, sure, if you are a relatively prime athlete and you're making that transition, then sure, you got a bit of a leg up, but that in the ring work, that like running up against they make it look so easy, but it's not for your day-to-day Joe. You know, try and, you know, go up into the ring and do what even the, say, slower workers, big guys do.
Sure.
You're gonna blow up like 2 moves into the match. You know?
Without
cardio's a whole different ball game. And again, it kind of comes down to understanding what it takes to do it. And this is another situation where I just have concern about Tony Khan. I just don't know if he has that kind of drive that you need to have in the wrestling business. That, you know, he needs a little bit more Carney in him, you know, sure. That little bit more roughneck wrestling promoter where it's like, you know, a little bit more Bill Watts, just enough, just kind of, and he's never going to be able to have that level. There's no way he's going to be able to represent that because he's such a weak little putz on the camera. There's absolutely no way he's going to get there. You know?
So All right. Well, maybe that's where we will call it a night.
We'll leave it. Yep.
I was gonna say it seems like a good spot. Thanks everybody that has hopped on. We appreciate you. If you're on Twitch, thank you for being live with us.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube, thank you for hopping on. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. All that stuff.
like, share, like, comment, subscribe on Twitch.
Comments are
Make
big.
sure to
Comments
follow. Yeah, the like.
Let us know what you think too.
Yeah,
let us know
absolutely.
what if you've lasted this long.
Yeah,
you're invested. We appreciate you being here. Can't
absolutely.
Stress that.
It's an open discussion. I'd really like to hear everyone's thoughts on this.
Hit us up on Twitch if you have, Twitch, Twitter. We also have Twitter as well. So hit us up on there. Let us know what you think. This I don't think is gonna go anywhere. I think this is personally, I feel we were entering a new era. I think whether you want to call it the social media era, this way, I think that the Kenny Omegas and the Young Bucks and ones like that could be on it as well and rolling along.
This is going to be a decision point for AEW.
Yeah.
How Tony Khan reacts, how they as the company responds to the whole thing. Is it a driver into AEW on Dynamite?
Mm-hmm.
If I were them, like good, bad, or indifferent, that's what I would do. To drive attention, you need to drive attention to your television presence after the pay-per-view. You have to put this in there, and especially All Out being like kind of the WrestleMania for...
I was gonna say, is All Out their WrestleMania, or is Double or Nothing their WrestleMania?
Maybe.
I haven't quite decided. I don't think they have either.
I think it is to be decided. Okay, fair enough.
Sure.
But this is amazing. All Out was their first pay-per-view.
This is a crossroads. This is really a crossroads.
Yeah. And
which is hilarious if that would be their next pay-per-view. Crossroads with Cody Rhodes no longer being there. There's a lot of funny things that can be said about that. But they're at that point where they could go.
They are.
They could become Ring of Honor, or
WCW.
They could become WCW. And say what you want about WCW, yes, they didn't work out, etc., etc. It has a lot of things from the past that reasons and things like that.
83
AEW
weeks.
would love to be WCW.
83 weeks.
Yeah.
Is almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's 83 weeks straight.
Shout out to Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
And his podcast.
His podcast.
Come join us one day, Eric.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. That would be absolutely amazing.
It really, you really need something to really be able to poke into the bear's cave that is WWE. And it's so funny. It is so funny with this going on, along with Triple H taking over, which makes me lean towards your thing.
I'm telling you, that plays into it, man.
I get it. And again, I've never made the position that it wasn't a work. My position has always been. I really hope.
Jared's like praying.
I just hope. I really hope.
Please, baby Jesus. But,
please. On Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights.
Please. respect the Kentucky Fried Chicken and the Mountain Dew. Sweet baby Jesus.
Sweet baby Jesus.
In your glory. Sweet cherub cheek diapers.
That's right. Yeah. I
haven't
seen that movie so long. I gotta go back and watch that.
Fat legged baby.
Fat legged baby.
I please give us in your glory our win tomorrow in Talladega. Sweet baby Jesus and everything holy. Please
Amen.
please make us victors.
We're gonna have to have that as like our sign off. We're gonna have to work out some kind of sign off as far as that goes. But no, we are both very much so hoping this is a work. This will be such an amazing
please, baby
job.
Jesus.
This is
please, sweet baby Jesus, make this a work.
Yes,
and all that is holy. Everything that you know and love. Sweet cherub in the quilts. And
every time you go to the sweet, I'm thinking like sweet Caroline. I keep hearing that in my head.
It's
anyhow,
dearest baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Make this all a work and make CM Punk the wisest of prophets and deliver us unto your bosom.
A new era.
A new era upon professional wrestling. That CM Punk is truly the one and chosen upon your glory. Amen.
Amen. No, you can't say amen. This is one of those amen.
Amen.
You have to say like popish.
Amen.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
So
all right.
Anyhow.
Okay. We're gonna sign this off because we're gonna go on forever. Thank you to everyone who hopped on tonight. Let us know what your thoughts are about this whole fiasco.
I have a feeling we're going to talk about this again. We're definitely.
I think so.
We have some topics where we kind of hop in and out. This feels like it's got a little staying power.
We have a Dynamite coming up
in a few hours.
Very soon.
Yeah, so I was gonna say.
Let's see what happens there. But with that, this is Getting Work signing off.
Later, fam.